Hey everybody, Master Mostler here with online lesson number 1 of the tactical cycle. We're beginning our tactical cycle now, so we're going to start these online lessons, which is why I'm starting back at number 1. So here is what you can work on this week. First of all, inclusive class. For those in my inclusive class, we're going to go back to those high blocks, and I want you to work the stances with them this time. So as they do the blocks this time, they want to get in a sitting stance, legs wide apart, both knees bent, and work that movement coming up. Have them, take a pillow, something that you can make a contact with them, even if you just use your hand. But that hand should come up all the way above their head. Don't be okay with this as the high block. Make them bring that arm up above their head, and also don't let them just hold it up there where you just keep hitting it. They need to switch it each time. Try to make them bring it all the way up and down, not like this. For kicks, going back to that front kick. So we want to see their knee come up high forward as they kick. Try to make them lift and push out for the kicks on that. If they're more advanced, my suggestion to add to that will be to add a front kick, a jab, and an elbow together. Front kick, jab, elbow, just like that. And then the last thing to work on is back to that bear crawl, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. So working the bear crawl and working the muscles matters. As they do their bear crawl, see if they can actually keep their feet in one place, bring their hands forward, then bring their feet in. So think about basically almost like an inchworm. They would go out with their hands, come in with their feet. Go out with their hands, come in with their feet. If that's something they can do more advanced for that bear crawl, add that. That'll do some additional muscle work. If not, still the bear crawl, making sure the knees stay off the floor. Have them follow little trails around the house, things like that. But those are things that they can do to build up. That would be for my inclusive class. For my tiger cubs, this week, tiger cubs. Tiger cubs, what you're going to work on this week for the next few days is going to be your outside crescent and your inside crescent kick. So outside crescent is going over an object with the pinky toe basically crossing over first. The outside of the foot is what would actually hit the target. And inside crescent is where the big toe would cross over first, or the inside of the foot would hit the target. What we want to see tiger cubs doing is going outside and inside. Outside, inside. I would do 10 with each leg. Next is going to be front stance hops. So, front knee bent, back leg straight, all 10 toes facing forward. If you need the details behind our front stance, you can go to our Google Classroom. That invite was sent out today. Front stances are already up and on there. Have them practice hands up from the front stance and jumping and switching their feet and landing in a front stance. Now, your goal is to have them land that solidly and have that jump be solid. So it needs to be here to here and freeze, to here and freeze, not where they're constantly doing extra movement and so on. You want a solid landing, a solid jump, a solid stance. That should be their goal for this week. And then lastly, add punches. You can do this from sitting stances. Their punch should start off at their hip, and it should start off coming upside down and twist at the end. Every hand technique in Taekwondo has a twist at the end. Now, what you can do is add that with their crescent kicks. So, for example, they can go inside crescent, outside crescent, punch, punch, inside crescent, outside crescent, punch, punch, inside crescent, outside crescent, punch, punch, inside crescent, outside crescent, punch, punch. Or combine that with the sitting stance here, where they're doing this, 1, 2, 1, 2, and so on. That would be for what our tiger cubs will work on. White belts, yellow belts. We're going to start you off this week working on detailed blocks, basic blocks. I want you to work on 3 this week. That if you're a white belt, I want you to work on the low blocks. And you'll be able to go to Google Classrooms and see those as I keep those videos posted up. But crossing on the top, making the other hand come to the hip, in a good front stance on that. High blocks, hands should come up and then above your head. High blocks up and above the head. And then inner forearm blocks, crossing here and reaching underneath. Back of the fist starts underneath and then makes it look like a muscle right in front. Now, yellow belts, I'm going to give you 2 blocks I want you to work on. They're both very similar. It's the double knife hand block and the double fist block. So you take your back hand, put it straight out, palm down like you're giving somebody 5. Take your front hand, put it against the bicep of your other arm, palm up like somebody's giving you 5. If your hands came together, they'd be clapping. As you come across, front hand is at a 90-degree angle. Back hand comes underneath where your uniform make a V, or basically to cover your solar plexus right there. So, back hand palm down, front hand palm up, and double knife hand. Yellow belts practice that stepping. So, step first, reach back, and block. Watch the hand twist. And make sure it's your front hand that's up and down in this position. So if your left leg's in the front, then that means your left hand is the one that's in the front. A lot of times you'll have a habit as we get started of doing something like this. Well, that's my left leg in front, that's my right arm in front, that's incorrect. It needs to be turned this way. Then take exactly the same thing, but close your fist, and that becomes a double fist block instead of a double knife hand block. 100% the same, except for your fists are closed instead of hands open. Then, lastly, I want you working yellow belts on spin crescent kicks. Use a chair would be my suggestion to this. The best way to practice that, get right at the chair, turn your front foot toward your back foot. Your toes on your front foot should almost touch your back foot. If your stance is too far apart, you're going to fall trying to do your spin crescent. It's got to get under you. Then stand on your tiptoes and turn your heels. This hip, this shoulder, should have already traveled 180 degrees before you could kick. Now, remember, it's your back leg that's kicking, but when you turn, it's your front hip. The legs are diagonal on that turn, so you're going to feel, it's going to make sure that you keep track of which one is the back leg, which one is the front leg. As you get better, make it go quicker. So, yellow belts, that's what I want you working on this round. Green belts, blue belts. I want you working on basic combinations. Just our basic combinations as we're building into our combination blueprint. So, green belts, blue belts, there's actually 3 that I want you to work on. Make sure you always start with your front leg. Front leg leads to front hand to back hand to back leg. So, front kick, jab, reverse punch, back leg, front kick. Set it down. Then restart. Don't start with the back leg. Start with the front leg, which was just your back leg a minute ago, because now it's in front. Front kick, punch, punch, front kick, stop, restart. Now the left leg's in the front, and so on. Do exactly the same thing with round kicks and with side kicks. Same combination, round kick, punch, punch, round kick, side kick, punch, punch, side kick. Make sure that you are practicing those effectively. You want to get the hang of those combinations. Important details, make your punches count. Don't do this, where you just kind of wiggle your hands and call those punches. Kick, punch, punch. Because if we don't make our punches count, it's not going to work in our combination blueprint. You'll learn that in our virtual class. So those details have to be there. And then, in addition, green belts, blue belts, I want you to work on your hook kick. So, hook kick, I would suggest having something like a chair that you can kick over. You don't have to. If you need to hold on to something for balance, you can, but try not to. If you can get away with not having that extra grip or whatever, just being able to have your hands up, that's what you want to do. So, starts off, hook kick, pulls back like a side kick. I'm pivoted. I could easily throw a side kick from this position. Instead of going straight forward, my leg starts to push out this way. Now, as it pushes 45 degrees out, think of your hamstring as starting to pull backwards. So, as I push out with my leg, basically the back of my knee and my hamstring are starting to pull across. As that happens, my leg locks, my toes are pulled back like I'm trying to reach my knee with my toes, the back of the heel pulls through the target. And it should pass straight. So it ends 45 degrees over here, then bends back. So lifting up, make sure you lift knee and ankle same height. Pull that hook kick across. Common mistakes that happen with hook kick that you want to avoid, think of if you sawed off your leg from the knee down, still trying to hit somebody with this part of your leg. What happens is we don't move that part of our leg, we do this, which is almost like making the lower part of your leg just slap. You don't want to do that where this part of your leg and your knee kind of stays in place. Your knee should move all the way across with that. So work on those things, green belts and blue belts. Brown belts and above, there are 4 combinations that are core for you guys, brown through black belts, that I want you to work. And I call this, we've done it plenty of times, our chain link workout. But I want you to work on basic, we're in our combination blueprint, basic system, front leg to front, hand to back leg. With that in mind, I want you to work 4 combinations. I want you to work that front kick, round kick, jab, reverse punch, back leg, front kick, round kick. Then, drop the front kick, add a side kick. So, it'd be round kick, side kick, punch, punch, round kick, side kick. Then, drop the round kick, add a hook kick. So it would be side kick, hook kick, punch, punch, side kick, hook kick. Then, drop the side kick, go back to that front kick. So it'd be hook kick, front kick, punch, punch, hook kick, front kick. Hook kick, front kick, punch, punch, hook kick, front kick. This set is key for pivoting purposes. So first combination, your front kick, round kick, you should feel a pivot between those 2 combinations, or 2 kicks. If you're not feeling a pivot, something's wrong. Second and third combination. Second combination works knee movement. The pivot is already there for the round kick. So you don't have to pivot for the side kick. I shouldn't be doing this. Trying to do my side kick. Lift up, round kick, pull the knee back, side kick. That's going to require some additional balance because of the knee work. Third one is probably technically the easiest. Again, you pivot from the beginning, so you pivot for the side kick. Your retraction for your side kick is your setup for your hook kick. So it's not an awkward reset between those kicks, and the foot you're standing on should stay in place. Then the hook kick to front kick actually works the opposite of what that front round. You have to unpivot. So I lift up, I throw that hook kick, but then after my hook kick, I've got to unpivot to get my front kick in there. So I've got to adjust my body, lift up, let the heel reset back so I can get my front kick. Being able to execute those 4 combinations effectively truly build technique, balance, and a nice core foundation for your combination blueprint. So brown through black, that's what I want you guys working on this week. I will see you soon on the screen.